Wouldn't it be nice to decode life and motherhood in general? Welcome to the podcast, Motherhood Decoded, presented by the Louisville Mom Collective, where we will look at all things motherhood and try to decode a little bit of all this for you on your journey. It is March, which is Women's History Month. My name is Courtney Snow, owner, and I'm excited for you to be joining us. This first piece is shared by contributor Kershana Cox.
Representation matters. My vice president looks like me. This is the sentiment of so many girls and women across this country. As I watched the inauguration on January 20th, I felt so much pride and joy in my heart. I felt relieved to see a new president coming into office. However, I truly felt tears of joy to see a brown woman being sworn in as the Vice President of the United States. Kamala Harris represents the first woman, first Black woman, and the first woman of South Asian descent to be Vice President of the United States of America. While watching the inauguration, I could not help but think that in a year when racism can no longer be denied in our country, this is a monumental moment. Former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, even recognized the magnitude of that moment when she made eye contact and gestured to Kamala Harris. In that moment, with only her facial expression and her finger, I felt that she told her, "You did that." Both of these women embody courage, strength, intellect, tenacity, and compassion. Obama and Harris represent women of color who paved the way for others who will lead and follow in their footsteps in years to come. They broke through the glass ceiling, that which is not tangible but is ever present in our daily lives, jobs, our neighborhoods, our government, our laws, and so forth. I also watched as a young woman by the name of Amanda Gorman took her seat at the table as she served as the youngest poet ever to recite at a presidential inauguration. At only 22 years old, she gave a rousing performance of her poem, "The Hill We Climb." As she recited her poem, I heard brilliance in her words and magic in her heart. She joined this group of incredible women of color that contribute to breaking glass ceilings and lead the way. February is known as Black History Month. While 1 month does not do justice for the rich amount of Black history in our nation, it does serve as a time to be more intentional about learning about the contributions from Black people to our country. To celebrate Black History Month, here are a few of the Black women that have made significant contributions to our country. I encourage you to share and read with your children about the books that celebrate diversity. It is important now more than ever that we remind them that representation matters. The list of these amazing Black women include Harriet Tubman, who is an American abolitionist and political activist, Sojourner Truth, an American abolitionist and women's rights activist, Bessie Coleman, the first African American woman and first Native American pilot, Alice Ball, African American chemist who created the Ball method to cure leprosy, Ruby Bridges, the first African American child to desegregate an all-white school in Louisiana, Katherine Johnson, the first African American woman to work as a NASA scientist, Maya Angelou, an American poet and civil rights activist, Wilma Rudolph, an Olympic champion and first woman to win 3 gold medals in a single Olympic game. Maxine Waters, an American politician and U.S. representative. Mae C. Jemison, an American engineer, physician, and former NASA astronaut. And Stacey Abrams, an American politician, lawyer, and voting rights activist. So, let us celebrate these women who have contributed so much and continue to represent our diverse country.
This next piece on 5 ways to empower your daughters comes from Jinky Brown.
At first glance, our daughter is the epitome of a 3-year-old girl. She loves bright colors. Tutus are her outfits of choice. Her ever-constant companion is a stuffed unicorn named Rainbow. For 80% of the time that she's awake, she is singing and dancing. Each year during this week, I look at her, hoping that she'll become an independent and smart woman. You see, it's almost International Women's Day. This is a day that's celebrated every year on March 8th. It's a day to celebrate all the achievements of women, social, economic, cultural, and political. It is a call to action for women's equality. So what does that mean for a mother of a strong-willed toddler girl? Well, here are 5 simple ways to empower our daughters even as young as 3 years old. Let her fall and get back up. My husband is better at enforcing this rule, but we agreed early in parenthood to let her fall down. Our motherly instincts tell us to pick her up immediately and dust off any dirt to check on scraped elbows. But in doing so, we are denying her the chance to assess her own emotions. She needs to determine her own reactions to those events. We know that life is going to knock her down sometimes. We have to teach her, even as a toddler, that she can and she should try to pick herself back up. Praise her intellect and personality. Well, we're pretty biased, but we obviously think that our daughter's beautiful. We do tell her she's beautiful, but we put much more emphasis on her actions. We tell her that her jokes are funny, that they made us laugh. We tell her that she's so kind to make a card for her friend. We tell her that she's so creative for telling a story about pirates looking for treasure. Focusing on her personality and actions will hopefully encourage her to put the spotlight on what she can do rather than what she looks like. Give her role models. Where to start? Books. We have had friends and relatives gift us so many books with inspiring stories of strong girls. Movies. We try to be conscious of the movies that we show her. I know some will argue with me, but some of the classic Disney movies have less than inspiring female role models. Thankfully, a lot has changed and the female characters are more favorable. Ask for her opinion. Something as simple as encouraging her to help decide what will be served at a meal or what present we should give a friend will give her a voice. Often we think that parents are the end-all, be-all of all decisions. In circumstances where safety is concerned, adults are absolutely in charge. However, our girls need to learn that their opinions matter. In practicing using their voices, our daughters will be able to feel more comfortable speaking up and to give an opinion. Encourage her to form strong friendships. I've never been shy to strike up a conversation, but I also have managed to keep long-lasting relationships with some of the strongest women I know. There's a level of respect and awe that I have in each and every of them. Cultivating strong and healthy relationships with other women can be such a breath of fresh air during tumultuous times like parenting during a pandemic. There are so many ways to ensure that we are raising strong women, but these are just a few simple ways we can empower our daughters.
Thanks for joining us and tune in for our next episode.